So Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Apparently it's a great movie. But the movies combined have made a total of $1 billion, which is crazy for video game movies. Um, I mean, even most games, or not games, most movies, even with trilogies and all that, fail to even get that much. Um, so it's a huge number. It's a very big number. Big number. So many other movies are wishing they could do numbers like these. Again, this is the together. We're not saying Sonic 3 has made $1 billion. The three combined have made a total, and it is a big deal, especially especially given their budgets. Um, they've been a huge success in the movies, and it just shows that one, you can create a good video game movie because for years people were like, oh, you can't make a good video game movie. Well, they've blown that out of the water recently. Sonic, Five Nights at Freddy's, Detective Pikachu. You know, they've just shown that you can take cartoon type games, make them look realistic, and still keep to their general idea and aesthetic, and make them good. Especially when you just make them fun movies. Now, Mario actually passed a billion on its own, and I think I talked about that when it happened. That's crazy. A video game movie making $1 billion is insane, but it was a good movie. Mario is a huge character, and you know, I don't think there's a person alive today who doesn't know Mario in some capacity. Sonic, same thing. It's been around a very long time. But the Sonic movies have seemingly made $1 billion at the box office. Sonic movie series, blah blah blah. We just read that in the title. The best performing film in the series so far is the second one, probably because it had Tails and Knuckles. I think Knuckles was the more of the pulling for that movie. With Sonic 3 trailing behind the first two. Sonic 3 is performing well though, and it's still in cinemas. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's in cinemas, it's you know. Uh, Also, from the official Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter, um, that's a lot of rings. That's a lot of rings right there. Um, the Sonic movie series has seemingly surpassed 1 billion at the box office with the success of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, not the game, not the game. Great game, but that's not what we're talking about here. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 helping it reach this milestone because it is a milestone. You see some movies like I said, Mario reaches it. So some people think, oh, well, reaching $1 billion after three movies, that's not a big deal. It is a big deal. You understand how much $1 billion is? Like, especially in the budgets that they had. Like, I think the first one was only like 90 million. So, um, this comes while Sonic 3 is still in cinemas, so we can expect this figure to rise even further. And it is a big deal because everyone, like every outlet, the gamer, CBR, Screen Rant, everyone's talking about it because it is a big deal. Uh, because it shows that once again that video game movies can be successful. One, when you stick to source material or respect it enough to where even if there are changes, it's not drastic. And two, it's just a fun movie that isn't preaching to you every 2 seconds. Um, all the studios had to confirm this. This comes up adding the total of reported box office. I mean, it is kind of confirmed. Um, this was January 5th. Earlier today, actually, it's 6 o'clock right now, and this was so in the afternoon. So it is confirmed that is it says Zoom's passed. So possibly even a little more than a billion. Sonic movie series appears to have pulled in $1 billion. We've come a long way since Ugly Sonic, which people are still saying that was a marketing thing. You do realize it takes a lot of money to, make that stuff, with the CGI and everything. Even look at Snow White. They had people at first, not very good people, but they had people, and then they had to CGI dwarves in, and that skyrocketed the cost of the movie just because of how much it takes to create CGI. So it was not a marketing ploy. They thought they wanted something between realistic and game, and what they decided to do was hideous. The community talked about it to the point where they're like, you know what? Yeah, that thing is pretty ugly. And they decided to make Sonic more like his cartoon, his game counterpart. And that's one reason why the first movie was so successful, because Sonic looked like Sonic. He wasn't some weird, like, uncanny valley teeth, and it. So people are like, oh, it was a marketing ploy. You really think they're going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars for a marketing ploy? Um, we've come a long way since Ugly Sonic. The achievements was highlighted by Reddit. Blah blah blah. Here's the reported box office takings for each film according to Box Office Mojo. Sonic the Hedgehog 3, 320 million. Again, I think its original cost was like 90 million plus another like 100 million or so, or 150 million for marketing. So you get like 200 something. So yeah, it made profit. Same thing with these second movie, same thing. It had a smaller budget, like 100 and something million, and then another, say, 200 million for 100 or 200 million for marketing. So they made profit. So it gives us a total of $1 billion. We'll have to wait and see where it lands once the dust has settled, particularly once the film is released digitally on January 21st, which is still a little whiles away. Of course, even taking into account Sonic 3 is still in cinemas, there is a noticeable dip in the it's taking so far. This tracks with reports that the box office performance is slower than that of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, but it's still performing well, holding its own against Disney's Mufasa: The Lion King. Which, I mean, a movie I don't think really anyone was asking for. And apart from that one clip, the something that my brother, there's something brother. Apart from that clip, I haven't seen anyone talking about the movie at all, at all. But you hear people talking about Sonic, certain characters popping up in the end. Um, whatever the case, the Sonic series is an incredibly good place. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's very good right now, and well, Sonic 3 is very new still, so I would imagine that it's going to be very good in the long run for them. So much so that we will be expecting Sonic 4 sometime in the near future. I remember when video game movies weren't very good. This reminds me of a time I was with my good friend Orville. Now, yeah, the first movie, no one thought it was going to get a sequel, and then it got a sequel, and then it got a third movie, and now they're talking about a fourth one already, which will probably be out. It's probably 2027 or something. Um, as long as they're good, I mean, obviously Jim Carrey can't beat Robotnik forever. One, because that's going to kind of wear down the interest people have, and two, the guy's getting older. So, I mean, luckily Robotnik isn't some kind of super active type role, but yeah, people are going to get really worn out when there's so many Sonic villains that can be added in. One of them shown at the end of the third movie. Um, I would love to see Chaos. That'd be really cool. Because Chaos is an interesting kind of character. His design and all that. I would love to see Chaos. Um, but you know, um, fourth film was confirmed ahead of Sonic 3's opening in late December, and a post-credit scene teased some characters who will likely appear in the sequel. Not likely appear in the sequel. They teased Tails at the end of the first movie, and who showed up in the second movie? Tails. So once these characters are shown, it's like Mario. They tease Yoshi at the end of the Mario movie. Guess who's going to be in the next Mario movie? Yoshi. I mean, that's that's how it is. It's that's to get things, people hyped for it or at least interested. It's like the Avengers movies, with Marvel, the post credits and having characters show up, they're always in the next one. So it's we'll have to wait and see if we get another spin-off show too, like Knuckles. Yeah, from what I hear, it was pretty good. I mean, not the best, but well enough. It was good enough to say, you know what, that was pretty cool. Um, but yeah, this is a huge thing, especially for a video game movie. It will be seeded till 2 billion. Let's get to 2 billion, make 5 more movies. Next stop, destroy the fake Avengers in 2027. Brother and nephew went to see it. They loved it. Can't wait for it to be out. So deserved. This is what happens when you have a cast and crew that really cares about the fans and puts so much love and heart into the movies with respect for the source material. That's what I said. That's all you have to do. Thank you guys very much. Looking forward to the future. Yeah. Well, when you actually put effort into video game movies, they make you good money. Angrily glares at Borderlands. But it's a good movie. I remember Shadow being one of my favorite characters on the GameCube way back in the day. You stuck to the landing again by being faithful to the source material. Yeah. Chow Garden when. Well, I mean, the third movie has, references to Chow, but, like, the Chows aren't actually in there. I'm glad I'm happy to see that Sonic and his friends are back in popularity. He used to be so nerdy, but now it's part of the culture. Yeah, that's what happens when something, think about like Pokemon back in the day, and people are like, "Oh yeah, Pokemon's just gonna, die out. It's just a trend, right?" No, no, oh no, 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 no. In fact, I saw was it over in trending? It was Sprigatito. And I'm like, why is Sprigatito trending? I thought I was gonna click on it and find like some freaking artwork of Sprigatito, but no, apparently there was Sprigatito Community Day or something. So people still have a love and passion for Pokemon. Um, so it's nice to see a game that's really, really been good since. I mean, when I say good, because people are like, "Oh my god, this game sucked," and this game sucked. In my opinion, the only game that sucked was like Sonic 06. I see what they were trying to do there, and I appreciate what they were trying to do. It just didn't work at all. Like the concept, the game itself, it just didn't work. It was so glitchy. It was you would get soft locked in fights. You couldn't progress. It was just bad. You're running through a stage and somehow you fall through it. You're sent. You're running and then somehow you're launched to another. It was just so bad. It was so bad. I remember I was fighting Silver. I couldn't even finish the fight because it bugged up. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And it's not like it really lets you, I think I saved at that point, but I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, what happens if I reset and then I have to do it? Yeah, I have to try to do it, and then it bugs up then too. I was like, this is gotta go fast. Let him cook. Yeah, so yeah, well deserved. It's what happens when you take a movie, you stay faithful to the source material, you create it for the fans, and you don't preach to them. You don't have a political agenda. You don't sit there and tell them because they're white they're bad or whatever. You just have a fun movie that anyone can see, regardless of color or religion or political affiliation or anything. It's just a movie everyone can see and enjoy. Not that hard, guys. It's not that hard. You deserve it. Thank you for treating this franchise so good. Yeah, like what is this? What is this? So this alone was enough to show people that, oh hey, they actually do respect the fans. They think that this was a marketing ploy. This is one expensive marketing ploy. A marketing ploy that could have ended up not working. So why would they do it? This was what they had. This is what they changed it to because enough people were talking about it. Look at these tiny. Look at this. Look at this. It looks like the Cat in the Hat and Sonic had a child. So it wasn't a marketing ploy. Wasn't a marketing ploy. It would have been an expensive marketing ploy, and there was no clear sign that it would have been successful. So why would they even bother doing that? But whatever helps you cope with it. But anyway, yeah, well deserved. And let's hope that we have another slew of successful video game movies, ones that stay true to the source material or close enough to where it's like, okay, we see what they're doing. Obviously it's not taking place in Sonic's world; it's taking place in ours, so things need to be a little different. But yeah. So 1 billion for total, so well deserved. Let me know if you saw the movie, what you thought of it, and the ending with the post credits. Um, um, yeah, let me know. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.